I've got a cable because my phone's dying, so I'm just trying to remove like a good place. Okay. こんにちは。ちょっとケーブルついてるからちょっと設定というか難しくなりました。So I'm coming on live real quick because I'm working on some coloring for an illustration job, and it's one of those things like that kind of takes time, and I thought that's a good opportunity to jump on here awkwardly sort of and maybe chat or just listen to music while coloring. Oh, sorry, kitty boy. Got kitty boy here. So let's get into our tripod. Oh wait, sorry, that's probably really loud and I should have done this earlier, but I figured I wanted to show my face real quick first before tripod time. So apologies. This is part of the live experience, isn't it? I kind of want to change the angle of this, but it's not really working out well. Okey poke. Let's see if this will work out nicely or not. Let's check. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna fix that a bit. ちょっと待って。ごめんね。今仕事中で、今色入れてるから、なんか一緒にやろうかなと思って、でもさっき顔出すことに決まったから、ごめんね。じゃあ、let's go. Hey! Okay, so also I gotta write down the time. ちょっと待って、時間が書くのを忘れました。Okay. So I am working in Photoshop, and I don't want to tell you what I'm working on yet because, well, I'm working on it, you know? It's like, not released into the world yet because it's not finished. So you will see in the future sometimes soon. この仕事今作る中から何のデザインとか何の会社にまだ秘密ですね。ごめんちゃい。色だけ入れて後で出したらわかるかな皆さん。So I'm using Photoshop and a Wacom Cintiq? I don't actually know how to pronounce it, but I'm using a Wacom tablet. I know everyone has their different ways of coloring things in, and this is my way. Maybe you can tell, but the lines here, the final outlines are transparent so that I can see that I am coloring underneath fully and that there's not like a gap like that. If you can see that there, I want to make sure it's totally solid. Another way I do that, or one of my processes, is, well, I eventually, once I close this circle of color, I do use the fill tool, but see, it leaves this line here, and that's probably a tolerance thing. Let me just turn it up to 80 and see if that... No, not really. it doesn't really help. So, and then you can like do that, but see it bleeds, which I don't like. So what I find works for me is to just do that, draw over that kind of weird line it makes. で、一応、日本の皆さん、私の色塗る方法はまあみんなと違うかもしれないけど、まずちょっと透明して、で下に色を入れてる。でなんかギャップ作れないように透明だったらこれまだちゃんと塗れてないからそういう感じしてる。でちょっと線を塗って、で最後まあなんていうかこういう感じでしてフィルするけど、この線があんま良くない。これにしたらちょっと入れすぎっていうか、まあ今回は大丈夫けど、この黄色のところ入ってないから大丈夫だけど、例えばこうしてちょっと見えるかな、入れすぎ、ちょっとアプリ消したっていうか、まああまり好きじゃないからこういう風にしてる。もちろんみんな他の方法ありましたら、あるんだったら教えてくれちゃい。まあ前に違う方法したけど、今はこういう感じ好き。私もっと早い方法あると思うんだけど、I think there's probably a faster way, but I don't know. I just kind of am used to this way and I like it. Before I used to do this thing where I'd copy the lines of like the character or whatever, and then I would fill the copy with color and have it underneath the like real line layer, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I just felt like it's not a really beautiful way to do it. Like if you send someone the PSD file, they can see your goofy like underlayer, and I just thought I'm not really a fan of that. Maybe I'll show how I used to do it sometime. It is much faster, but I don't know. I like to do like this. I think anyway with the digital drawing, it saves you a lot of time compared to sort of more traditional forms of drawing, right? Like coloring something in, you don't have a fill button in real life, right? So in a way I feel like this is already so much faster than coloring in with a pencil or paint or marker or something. So to just take that little bit of extra time just doesn't really bother me, I guess. If that makes sense to anybody else. Like I'm just enjoying my time here drawing. It doesn't all have to be super quick, most efficient ever. I mean, efficiency is great, but yeah, like I said, just some good old peaceful drawing time is nice too, isn't it? なんかこの風に色を塗ることで、まあこの このフィルのやつすごい速くなるでしょ。普通に紙だったらマークか色鉛筆かなんか使ったらもうちょっと時間かかる。でこの方ももっと早いからもうそれで十分じゃないと思ってる。もっと早く方法あるかもしれないけどこれでいいわ。ええわ。ええんちゃう？みんなどうと思いますか？あ、そっか。昨日 TikTok でなんかライブ見つけちゃってなんか紙アートの人なんか紙でマーカーとハサミだけでなんか面白いものを作る人ライブの見つけてこの人が面白い言葉使った。おはこんばちはかなんかおはようとこんにちはとこんばんはみたいな言葉を使った面白いと思った。で最後にバイバイとさよならも言った面白いと思った。使いたいかな。使うかな。絶対バイなら使おうかな。私は普通にバイバイ結構言ってる友達に。I was watching someone's TikTok live yesterday. Last night. It was a paper artist in Japan. She seemed like she was from Osaka, which is where I used to live, based on her way of talking, which I really liked. But she had this great way of saying goodbye and hello. So at the beginning, she combined good morning, good afternoon, and good evening into one word. So if you know even a little bit of Japanese, you probably could have recognized what I had just said now, but it was like Ohayo, konnichiwa, and konbanwa mixed together. So it was Oha konbachiwa or something like that. And then when she said goodbye, in Japan it's really common to say bye bye, which is borrowed from English, obviously, with your friends. And then, obviously sayonara is kind of like goodbye. So she mixed those two, bye nara, which I thought was so great because I say bye bye a lot to my friends here in Japan. So I was thinking, I think I might use bye nara. That sounds really cool. Has anyone else heard someone use that before? It's surely not just me, but I thought it was very cute and kind of sassy. Sassy. I'm doing this kind of blue and purple and red look for these clothes, but I might change that later. Just at least that part's easy. Once I get the colors down, changing them isn't too hard, at least. It's so fun to color, look! Why would I just use the fill tool only when I can draw the color on with this pen tool too? I've also got, it's only on 1%. I'll turn that up a little bit. I guess it doesn't matter right now, but I do like to have my smoothing on. It was only on 1% just now, which is fine, because I'm just coloring. But when I draw recently, something I've been really enjoying is changing the smoothing of the brush. So I know it's a bit blurry right now, but up here you've got like your brush, normal mode or whatever, dissolve, and like the opacity, the flow, and then next to flow is the smoothing. I like that because I don't know what it is about digital drawing, but it's like my hands shakiness like this. Like if we turn this down, I don't know, I feel like my hands shakiness really like comes through. I can't always draw like a really nice line. But if I turn the smoothing up, it's much more smooth, even if I shake a bit like that. And I don't know, maybe that's like a low blood pressure thing or something, but I personally really like the smoothing tool. I think it's probably good for people who do things like calligraphy as well. I think my other thing is I don't tend to draw like this that much. I prefer to kind of do things in one go. So if I'm not happy with like my first line, I'll just keep doing it over and over instead of doing like a few lines or like connecting it later like that. I don't know, something about doing something in one go is just how I tend to do things. I also have my eraser tool on a pretty high level of smoothing because again, I don't want shaky hands using that pen tool. I think Procreate also has a similar function, which I have seen on some, like automatically applied to certain default calligraphy pens that they've got built into their app. I like to use that as well, but overall I prefer to draw in Photoshop. I find it hard to explain why. I wonder if anyone else can relate. I've talked to some other illustration art friends about it before, and one agreed with me and one didn't. So I guess everyone's a little bit different. なんかフォトショップでペンツールがなんかこの上いろんな設定がある。で英語でスムージングというなんかあるで結構なんか 20% ぐらいから、まあ、30-40% までで絵を描いてます。だいたいみんなも使ってますか？Procreate もなんかカリグラフィーみたいなブラシがなんか勝手にスムージングあるみたい。好き私。絵を描くときがいい。で最近他の絵を描く友達と話してなんかPhotoshop や Procreate どっちが好き？絵を描くとき。私、説明難しいけど、Photoshop の方が好き。多分気持ち的には、かな。ちょっとどうやって説明するわからないけど、多分気持ちだけかも。で、他の友達と聞いたら、一人も同意だって、Photoshop の方が好き。でももう一人が、どっちでもいけるわ、みたいな話出て、ああ、面白いな。みんなちょっと違うな。まあ、気持ちね。気持ち。By the way, if you can hear in the background any music, that is my husband's music, and it is available on YouTube Music and Apple Music, and I believe Spotify as well. You can also use it on social media. So for example, if you're making like a story or a post on Instagram, and you go to the music search thing and just type TempuraRubbish, you will find his music and you can use it in your posts, as well as listen to it on streaming platforms. So if you've ever had a look at my Instagram, which is Brandy Nicole Easter, you will see that I've used his music a lot in posts and stories and stuff. I've also done almost all of his album artwork, which is fun. His most recent album artwork, I was a bit busy with work, so I wasn't able to make anything for him. So he edited a picture of me instead, which is very cute. Somehow I was still involved. 今飛行機飛んでるけど、音楽聞こえる人がちょっとボリュームアップしようかな。今旦那さんの音楽聴いてる。で YouTube Music と Apple Music と Spotify でも聞こえる？聞いてください。TempuraRubbish の名前選択したら見つけるよ。で SNS でInstagram とかなんかストーリーズ作るときとか音楽入れるでしょ。TempuraRubbish も選択したら旦那さんの音楽出るよ。ぜひぜひみんな来てください。で私だいたいアルバムアートワーク作ってるんだけど、今回はねちょっと忙しすぎてできなくて、旦那さんが私の写真使った。かわいいでしょ。絵を描かなくても写真使いました。だからなんとなく私すべて参加してるというか。One day I would like to sing or use my voice for his music, but and I don't mean that by any means to say that I'm some kind of brilliant singer or something. I actually think I'm really pretty bad or pretty average at best, but with a lot of like auto-tune or something, I think it would be really cool. And I have some like words that I've been collecting, like if I'm on the bus and I hear someone say something funny, like a total stranger, I've been saving those words in like the memo app on my phone for years. But what I've found is hard is like putting those words together in a way where like you have to add like rhythm or something, right? Like I'm not a very musical person anymore. I used to play violin, but you know, I just played off sheet music to like create how the words sound, if that makes sense, has been really hard for me. So I haven't been able to figure out how to do that yet. If anyone has any advice, that would be awesome. Okay, we're coming up to 30 minutes here, and it's 3 p.m. here in Tokyo, Japan. So I'm just sort of thinking I should probably think about cooking lunch or something. What do you all think? Is it lunchtime yet? Is it like long gone? I did have a kind of snack after breakfast, but I think it's probably time for like a proper lunch now. I'll just do these socks first, and then think about eating or something. What should I eat? I don't want to cook. I just want to eat. It's the trouble about getting into the zone with drawing sometimes. I don't want to cook. I just want to eat and keep drawing. But I'll figure it out. We don't have any rice at the moment either. 今靴下を縫ってるんで、今日本で3時でまだちゃんとランチ食べてないから食べようかなと考えてます。どうしようかな。何食べるかな。ご飯とか作ってないからどうしようかな。ごめんね、たまに日本語で赤ちゃんみたいな話し方しちゃう。ああ、これいらない。おい、こいつ。I don't need that line right now. That was an accident. Okay, Poke, almost done with the socks, and then I'll let you go. So for those watching now, thank you so much. For those watching later, thanks to you too. I'm gonna try to be on here live and maybe not live too. I've been trying my best to do more shorts and stuff. So yeah, keep your eyes out here and do those likes and subscribes and stuff. じゃあみんな見てくれてありがとうございます。今と後も Thank you です。ぜひいいねボタンと Subscribe とか Smash please. Thanks so much. じゃあね